I have always loved seeing people beat the shit out of each other. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay, in person, preferably, or through video. I can watch videos of people fighting each other for hours and hours and hours, and that has happened to me before. I go on, I go to like a street fight compilation. I watched that whole shit. I go to the next one. I watch that whole shit. I love watching fights. Now, is that bad? I don't fucking know. I mean, fighting is bad, especially street fights where maybe one person or both people aren't consenting to a fight necessarily. But it's just so fascinating to watch. And not only just the fights to see how they play out, but also the emotions that happen leading up to a fight or during a fight, the expressions on people's faces during a fight. That shit has always been so fascinating to me. And that's where I might differ from a lot of people that are interested in watching fights. I feel like that's pretty relatable. Finding fights fascinating. Wanting to see two people fight, try to beat the shit out of each other. I feel like that's relatable. One thing that I really love and that I look deep into and that I, look for when I'm watching a fight is the expression on the people's faces that are about to get in the fight. When they get hit with the punch and they're like, oh shit, I'm in over my head with this one. Or they get a good shot out on the other guy, and they're fucking confident all of a sudden. They're like, yeah boy, what you got for me, boy, what you got for me? And then they fucking go all out, and then they gas themselves out. I just love everything, the psychology that goes into fighting in general, especially street fights. I have never been punched in the face hard. The most I've done has been light boxing sparring. If we're talking like actually fighting, the craziest shit I've done is light boxing sparring. And the hardest I've been punched in the face, I'll do it right now. This is the hardest I've been punched. And even that actually kind of hurt. Even that was harder than I've been punched. Doing light boxing sparring. So I don't know what in my past led to me being obsessed with the psychology of fights and watching fights happen. But I mean, there is some shit I can probably, look back on and say, shit, that's probably why I'm obsessed with fighting. But maybe we'll talk about that in another video. But watching MMA for the past 10 years plus, I'd say I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to what I'm seeing, what to look for, in a fight, what's happening exactly in an MMA fight. Of course, I'm not even close to having the experience being in a fight and what the positions feel like or anything like that. But I've seen so many damn fights in my life now. I'd say I'm pretty knowledgeable. I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you guys because just to, give a little bit of a background on combat experience. It's just something I always love to watch and love to analyze. So when I found out about MMA, I was like, oh shit. Okay, these guys are going in a cage and trying to beat the shit out of each other. Let me check this out. And I got into it originally after watching Bully Beatdown with Mayhem Miller. He was the host of Bully Beatdown, and like that show was perfect for me. It showed the build-up to a fight. It showed why this bully was going to get his ass beat, all the shit he talked, and at the end of the show, you know, the bully got what was coming to him. It showed, you know, his psychology. Some of it was probably fabricated. A lot of it was fabricated, probably, you know, to try to make the bullies look worse than they actually were. But either way, it led up to a real fight. And I just love that shit, Bully Beatdown. And once I started watching that, I got into MMA. I think the first MMA fight I ever watched was Jason Mayhem Miller and Sakuraba, I think. I just kept watching MMA, watching, got into The Ultimate Fighter, got into this, got into that, got into the UFC, deep into the UFC. I loved watching Chael Sonnen and the Anderson Silva build-up. Like the build-up, the shit-talking between Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva. I love that shit. Because it just all this tension building and building and building, and it led up to a real fight in a cage where both men had the opportunity to knock the fucking shit out of the other guy. And the face-offs between Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva looked bothered at every face-off because of all the shit Chael Sonnen was talking. Like, Chael Sonnen knew how to build a damn fight. And I loved watching the face-offs, the emotion that you could see on Anderson Silva's face. You know, he was really pissed off over this shit. And even Chael Sonnen, you know, putting on this front like he's all confident and the bad guy and talking shit. You know, sometimes you could see a little bit of doubt peek through on his face and his eyes, or you could see a little bit of fear come through. You know, I love like analyzing that shit when it all builds up to a fight, a real fight. Okay, with a street fight, you got real beef all the time between two guys. You know, they have an issue with each other. Two guys, you know, maybe one guy slapped this other guy's girl on the ass or some shit, you know, give her a little smack on the ass. And the guy got pissed at the other guy. They got on each other's face. Oh, shit. Like, it's real beef, and it leads up to a real fight. And in most cases, because these guys are so fucking uneducated on how to actually fight and don't know, like they have all this, you know, adrenaline pumping through them. You know, one of them is probably going to get knocked out in the fight. And it's always fun to watch. And then with an MMA fight, sometimes you got real beef between guys. But a lot of the time, it's just like kind of, you know, either one of the guys or both of the guys pull some bullshit out of their ass to, you know, just come up with a reason to be mad at their opponent. So they go into the fight with some anger and with some angst to, you know, some motivation to beat the other motherfucker's ass. Sometimes it's there in the build up to a fight, and it leads up to, again, a real fight. And that brings me to my next point. That's why I don't give a fuck about the WWE. The shit talking in the WWE, there's no, you know it's not real. You know it's not grounded in reality in any way. It's written up on a script by these fucking guys in the back. Boom, he says this to the guy, he says that to the guy, and he goes off on a blah, blah, blah. You know that it's all scripted. And then all that fake beef that you know is fake builds up to a fake fight. And yeah, the WWE athletes are amazing. They can do some crazy shit. But I just don't care because the build-up and the fight is scripted. With MMA, even if the guys pull some beef out of nowhere that isn't grounded in anything, it's not scripted. And you can see even when it doesn't make sense to hate the other guy. If one guy's talking shit to the other guy feels hurt. The WWE is so big. I don't know how it got as big as it is today. And, I'll give props to Vince McMahon or whoever was the first person to say, hey, let's make this pro wrestling. And the fact that they call it pro wrestling, does that bother any like real wrestlers out there, like high school wrestler, college wrestlers? Does it bother any wrestlers out there that they call the WWE pro wrestling? But yeah, I give props to Vince McMahon and whoever came up with this idea, because it really is a stretch to say to yourself, "Hey, I think fans will like this. Something like this. How about this? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna script some build up to a scripted fight or a scripted wrestling match between these two guys that dress up weird as fuck, like they wear some skimpy little Speedo with a pink overalls and pink vest, and then he does his hair up like a fucking, some shit like that, and then and then it all builds up, and he's facing a guy wearing a little bow. He's wearing a bow in his hair, and he's shirtless, and he has tight pants on. You can see his, he's got tight pants on, and those two guys are gonna face each other, and fans are gonna eat the shit up. And then once they figure out it's fake, then we'll just embrace that, and hopefully it'll still be big, and it's still big. It makes sense that's why the UFC put so much emphasis on the characters and building characters going into fights. It is kind of like a mix between the WWE and just, traditional MMA promotion, like how MMA started out, let's just put on some good fights. Let's just put on some good fight. Who gives a shit about everything else? The UFC is now entertainment and crazy fucking real combat. MMA is no longer just about the fights. It isn't. It's about the athletes and their personalities and how cool they are, how well they connect with fans outside of fighting. It's different from so many other sports. With football, you can have, star quarterbacks that don't no one knows their personality that deeply outside of, playing football. But also these star quarterbacks are playing when they're in season, they're playing every week. People are seeing them every week. So their skills on the field, speak to fans, speak for themselves. They don't have to go out and do a lot of interviews, get on Instagram, make some dumbass skits. They're playing every week. Fans see them. Oh, cool, there's a touchdown. Oh, he threw a good pass. Oh, he threw a touchdown pass. Oh, my God, he's so cool. Oh, there he is again. Oh, every week I'm seeing this guy. He's a fucking beast. With fighters, these guys fight 3 times a year. When you're a fighter, you have to do shit outside of the cage. You have to show your personality. You have to get fans invested in you to if you want them to watch your damn fight. Yeah, fighting can get fans on board still. If you're a really good fighter and you're getting a finish every fight, fans are going to be attracted to that. But you know what fans are more attracted to than just finish? They're attracted to finishes mixed with some shit talking. Seeing you outside of the cage doing some crazy shit. Seeing you outside of the cage, fucking getting in fights, getting in arguments with Nina Drama or some shit. I don't fucking know. Speaking on a real combat, these guys in the UFC, they gotta stop fucking. If they score a knockout or a TKO in their fight, they gotta stop hugging their opponent right after they fucking knock their opponent out, bro. If you score a knockout or a TKO, the ref has to pry you off your opponent after he's rendered unable to continue or unconscious, and you go back up to your opponent right after You count to 3, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then you go up to your opponent and hug them. They got to stop doing that. That's the most disrespectful thing I can think of in the damn sport. It's disrespectful as fuck. You got to think about this. I know that I know when a fighter gets a win, especially a TKO or knockout win, they have a lot of adrenaline pumping through them. They don't know what to do. They feel bad for their opponent over there. They're like, oh shit, what? And then they want to go up to their opponent and hug them. I understand why it happens, but you don't have to have been in that situation to know that you should not do that shit. And fighters need to hold back. Like, if you're the opponent that just got TKO'd or knocked out, you're just thinking, oh fuck, like fuck, I need to process this shit. And then your opponent's coming up to you. You're thinking, oh fuck, get this guy away from me. He just fucking knocked me out. Fuck, get this guy away from my fucking ass. And how does it look from the outside? The guy that scored the knockout or TKO is coming up and he's saying, oh yeah, let me hug you. Let me hug you like you're my son. You little bitch, I fucking sunned your ass. Yeah, you little bitch, yeah, let me hug you. Let me comfort you because I fucking knocked your ass out, motherfucker. Yeah, I love you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to knock your fucking ass out. I'm not going to give you any time to process this shit. I'm going to walk up to you, count to 3 Mississippi, and then hug you like you're my son. I love you. I love you. I had to knock you out. I'm sorry, but I love you, buddy. Don't just count to 3. Count to at least 120. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, up to 120 Mississippi. Then you can hug the motherfucker. Right? I'm not saying don't show your opponent respect. I'm not saying don't show your opponent that you knocked out some respect. I'm saying give them some time to process this shit and give them some time to not be fucking pissed off that the guy that knocked him out is now putting his arms around him. Like, give the man some time. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Now, guys, what's up with MMA Media now at UFC events? MMA Media is so controlled by the UFC now, it is insane. I applied for a media pass on the UFC website and I didn't get it. What the fuck is that? See, that's some... They got a chokehold on this on the media, bro. This is fucked up. They didn't give me a press pass. Are you fucking kidding me? Andy P, the world's greatest MMA personality. They didn't give me a press pass. See, now I'm kidding. Like, obviously I didn't get a press pass, bro. I'm no one. I have a YouTube channel that no one watches. But it's just so obvious that they're not allowing just any media outlet into the events, because it's the same guys every event. John Morgan asks the first question at every press conference, and then it goes to that, hey, do you know how you're going to do in the next fight? How are you feeling? How was your camp this fight? Are you nervous going into this fight? That guy, the nerd, I mean, he's a little newer. And then you got Conor McGregor's guy, Oscar. Are you going to take your pick? Are you going to wrestle today? I can't. That was a terrible impression. Who else do we got? I mean, Nina Drama. She doesn't like ask questions at the press conference. So you got the Schmo. The Schmo is around a lot now. It's just all the same guys, and I think they're just the Full Send guy. I think they're just keeping the same guys, and not. I think their application to apply for a press pass is actually bullshit. I don't think they accept any of them anymore. I think they just have their guys that have been coming to every press conference, and they just keep those guys. Maybe once one outlet is gone, or once one guy retires or some shit, he's gone, maybe they'll bring in a new guy, but they do a lot of background checking and shit. They do a lot of research on who they're going to give a press pass to. Is this guy is this guy politically correct? Does this guy ask safe questions? Is he not going to bring any trouble? He better not be a troublemaker, or else we're not giving this motherfucker a press pass. You better chill. You better chill, boy. Like, man, they have such a chokehold on that shit, and it's bad. It's annoying. I could be wrong about everything I said, but that's what it seems like. Same people, every event. All right, let's read some random comments from past videos. Let's see here. This one was funny. I made a video about Neil Magny and how he's just a gatekeeper for the welterweight division and how he reminds me of Kermit the Frog. This guy is Spartacus9911 says, I'm from the future. The year is 2040 and Neil Magny just fraud checked another undefeated prospect. Magny is currently ranked number 9 in the welterweight division. That's funny as fuck because, dude, Neil Magny just figures out dude, look at his damn record. It's win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, win, loss, 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 win, 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 loss, win, loss. It's crazy. And up until he lost against Carlos Praches, he was in the top 15. Now he's out of the top 15. Now he's on a 2-fight win streak. He might be back in the top 15 now. Like, dude, how long are you just going to linger at like number 15, number 10 through 15? Like, dude, are you just doing this because you love to fight? If so, I like that, honestly. I do like that. But even if I was Neil Magny, I would still have some aspirations to get to the title. But this guy is like, it's just been so rocky for him. And he's obviously staying, he's one of the best in the world, one of the best welterweights. But it's like, I do kind of want to know what he's gunning for. Like, I'm just curious what he's gunning for. If he's just doing it because he loves to fight, he loves the sport, cool. That's actually sick. But if he's still gunning for the title, I mean, does he really think it's gonna happen? He's old now, and he's just been staying in the at the bottom of the top 15 for so long. Does he think it's gonna happen? I don't know. I'm just curious. Listen, I have nothing against the guy. I like the guy. Okay, I love him. As a matter of fact. I made a video about Winged C, the autistic guy that fights in street beefs, and I was just questioning whether or not the UFC would allow someone like him in the UFC with his goofiness and the tattoos he had. He tattooed a headband around his head. So, yeah, I don't know if the UFC would allow someone like that in there. This guy, Death Metal Redneck, comments, he's building his star power, and that's the real thing Dana cares about. See, I agree with that. Dana likes seeing people build their star power, get, big outside of the UFC before he brings them in. But is he going to say, yeah, let me sign this guy that has a headband tattooed on his head and acts annoying as fuck, cartwheels and hits refs, and refs get pissed at him. He does all this shit. Like, he's just all over the place, autistic as shit, a big cross tattooed on his chest. Is Dana going to want to sign someone like that? Even if Winged C, did I even say his name? Winged C, that's who I'm talking about. Even if Winged C builds such a huge star for himself outside of the UFC, gets like a pro record of 30-0 before getting into the UFC. I don't know if Dana is going to want to sign him because of how goofy he is. I think that's just, how Dana is. All right, so I posted a clip on this trend that Nina Drama did that led to the fighting nerds all losing. Like, she made a video with all the fighting nerds, and after that they all lost except Carlos Praches, but he did lose right before this video. Yeah, and I don't know, I was just like blown away at how Nina Drama came up with this video and everything. Apparently, the trend was a big trend, and I didn't know about it, so I guess I fucked up on that front. But yeah, whatever. So this guy's talking shit about Nina Drama. He says his name is Alfonso Samano 1490. He says, "Fuck that bitch. She sexualized everything in MMA. Lame." So this guy obviously hates Nina Drama. Thinks she sexualized everything in MMA. I don't know if I agree with that. Listen, I've said in the past, Nina Drama's, she's innocent. She hasn't done anything. She's just being herself. She's just throwing out good vibes. She's trying to have a fun time here. She's trying to just make good content with fighters. I think she's definitely a different. She brings some different shit into MMA content. She's doing things differently, and a lot of it is entertaining. Honestly, a lot of it is good, and she has some nice breasts. And she, yeah, I mean, she has some nice breasts. She has a nice face. She has a nice body, Yeah, she likes to, yeah, she was the Playboy Playmate of the Year one year. And she has some nice breasts. She, the relationship between her and Alex Pereira is kind of weird. Damn, I said Pereira just like Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen's getting to me. Like, what kind of history does Nina Drama and Alex Pereira have? I mean, what happened outside of the videos they've made? Because they seem way too close now. But who gives a damn? I mean, that's just an observation. She has some nice breasts. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Damn, I don't know. Sometimes at the end of these, I feel like I wasn't very cohesive. But if you watch this far, thank you. I'm really pushing my clips and my shorts hard now. I mean, they've been doing well on Instagram and shit, and even on YouTube sometimes, and on TikTok. So, I'm making these podcast episodes to show I'm able to make those, really. That's really what it is. But if you're actually watching these, I thank you so much. I hope you subscribe and like the video. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.